Hey, welcome everybody. Here we go. Episode 23 of Tough Bumps. My name is Matt Connerton, and of course, joining me all the way from the great state of Iowa, my partner in crime in this venture, Eric Pilcher. Hello, Eric.
Hello, Matt. Your voice, it sounds a little off.
Well, my allergies. Yeah, I got a little
Well, you
something in
were
there.
you were at Swarmy Fest last night.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Swarmy Fest. I was the MC for the night. So I got to announce all the bands, and although I try to do it a little different. I try not whenever I do that, because I've done a lot of that, because of the radio show. I get invited to do these, and whenever I get to MC an event and introduce the bands, I try not to do the cliche sort of, "Hey, is everybody having a good time? Are you ready to rock?" Because I hate that shit. It's so cringe.
Yeah.
So I try to put a little bit of a different spin on it and add a little bit of humor, but not like force myself to be like the stereotypical radio DJ who's just way too excited to be on stage. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Swarmy Fest 4, it was a big success. We had a great time this year at
Well, that's good.
yeah. Yep. And Jenny sold some of her artwork. We had a table set up and Jenny sold some stuff too. So it was a really good night. Really good night all around. So
Well, man, all I did is watch college football for close to 12 hours.
wow, that's a long time, college football. But you love it, so that's what counts.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Like,
what counts.
people sit there and they're like, "Really?" And it's like, you obviously are not a fan.
No, me?
If you were, you would really appreciate that.
Yeah. I don't even I'm so ignorant about sports ball. I don't even know how many innings are in a football game.
Well, it's quarters.
Oh, so what is there, like 6?
4.
4? Well, that's very convenient. Yeah, right. 4
Well, you got to
quarters.
make it easy for us people to understand.
So you think I'm falling for that? 4 quarters. Come on. Whatever. You have a bridge you want to sell me to? Jeez. There can't be 4 quarters. It's got to be more than that. Every football game I've ever been subjected to seemed like it was 8 hours long. It's got to be at least 12 quarters.
Nope, it's 4.
If you say so.
4 15-minute quarters.
That would mean the game's only an hour. Okay, now I'm definitely not falling for
Well,
this.
I mean, you know what? We're getting off track here.
Isn't the Super Bowl like 11 hours long or something? I mean, please. Ugh.
I mean, with pregame, yes.
See, yeah. You're not fooling me. But we are, of course, streaming the show live as we do every Sunday night. So hello to our live viewers and listeners. Feel free to chime in the chat room, and of course, but most of you will get the show in the podcast version. And please subscribe to Tough Bumps in your podcast platform of choice. We appreciate that. And well, episode 23, we've been remarkably consistent.
We have, again, we're not here without our listeners and our audience. And so thankful for everyone who joins us weekly, whether it's live, whether it's via the podcast, no matter what it is, very thankful.
Absolutely. We appreciate all of you. What should we, so we've got a few news items. What should we go with first, do you think? Do you have a preference?
I would go with the biggest story, I guess, when you walk out.
Yeah. There have been many famous walkouts in the history of professional wrestling, of course, over the years. But this particular one involves a couple of people who most of you have probably never even heard of. Let me grab a picture of them. Actually, here, we'll pull up the picture, and then we'll let those who are viewing the YouTube feed can decide if these people even look remotely familiar. But probably not, because, well, one of them used to be Tegan Knox, I believe, in NXT.
Yes. Now she is known as Nixon Newell.
Yes. And then the other one, what is her name again? Something Alize, but
Miranda Alize.
Miranda Alize, and neither of them AEW contracted talents, but they had an opportunity
Uh,
recently.
yes, they are.
They are? I didn't think they were signed.
Yes, I believe
Are you sure?
Tegan Knox is.
She was actually signed to AEW?
I believe so.
Okay.
I mean,
I thought they were both
it would be rather
well,
smart of AEW to. Well, regardless, it's of small relevance to the story.
well, I think it is relevant because this was a big opportunity for them. These are two wrestlers who largely unknown, Nixon Newell and Miranda Alize. And this was their chance, get national TV exposure, hopefully furthering their careers on a national promotion. Nixon Newell, formerly, of course, Tegan Knox in NXT, she had some injuries and then ultimately was let go. And Miranda Alize, who, by the way, they're also partners. They're romantically involved, apparently. So that, which might be part of why they made this decision together, because they are a real life couple, both in real life and in character, apparently, in terms of what they were portraying. But Alize, I'd never heard of before. I think she was an indie wrestler and still is, obviously. And, this was their big shot, and they weren't happy with the booking and they walked out. And it's like, wow. I mean, these are some self-destructive people, as far as I can tell, because they just sabotage their own
Well,
careers.
there's two sides to this.
Mm-hmm.
There's the side you took, which neither side is morally wrong. Let me start with my opinion right there. Neither side is
Okay.
morally wrong.
Okay.
But here's the deal. They had their debut a week before and they lost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. They lost. They get to the building, find out they're going to lose again, and that the match is going to be 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So they're going to be 0-2 in AEW and get jobbed out, essentially, in their second match. I understand their anger with the situation. Because you're trying to get a foothold in this company. I'm going to guess that they wanted to be a part of this company, that they wanted to sign on,
Mm-hmm.
and to lose 2 straight weeks and be jobbed out week 2. I mean, what value do you have after that? I mean,
yeah.
what you have to look at yourself as a business property. And I don't know how do I want to say this? I don't know what value you would have by losing 2 weeks in a row on national TV, second time in a squash.
Okay, but isn't
to
the
walk out is unprofessional.
Well, yeah.
I'll say that, but
yeah.
My deal is this. I've never understood a promoter, whether it's WWE, the old NWA, WCW, going up to talent and saying, you have 3 minutes. The hell are we doing? One, that's insulting to the talent. 2, you'd be better off splitting that 3 minutes up, giving it to another match, giving it to another spot on the show. You know,
Yeah.
like to say you're only getting 3 minutes. Okay, I flew in, I'm doing this, I'm working this match for you. I'm taking time away from home. You're giving me 3 minutes. What value am I going to have after I do this?
Yeah, the problem I have with that argument though is there's examples. I mean, lots of wrestlers turn up in a promotion for the first. I don't know why this example just happens to pop into my brain, but I remember the Hardys way back when they were new in WWE. They would show up, they would lose, and then eventually they started winning, and they went from there. Like it's not unusual.
Were the Hardys ever told, hey, you only have 3 minutes? No,
Oh, probably not.
no.
No, that's true.
Look, I don't think if the jobbing part was their main argument, I have a greater issue with that than I do if their argument was, you're only giving us 3 minutes. If their argument was, you're only giving us 3 minutes, I'm looking at it just like I looked at Naomi and Sasha Banks when they walked out.
Mhm.
Like, get the F out of here. I ain't doing that. But if you're refusing to job to 2 contracted talents, and that is your top argument, pay your dues.
Yeah, well, that's how I look
You're
at
not,
it.
but then I go back to that 3 minutes, and it's like, if that's a part of it, then I get it. And you know,
Nah,
I mean, you're jobbing them out. Like, what are they going to show you in 3 minutes?
yeah, but regardless, so I don't like my 3 minutes, and I don't think it's going to do me any good. So I'm just going to wreck my career by ruining my reputation in the wrestling business, and so now everyone thinks I'm hard to work with.
They didn't wreck their careers.
Oh, I think they
No,
did. I think they're screwed.
no,
Who's going to want to work with them now? Look at the reputation they've already established for themselves with this shit. No, I think they're screwed.
no.
Oh, I think they are.
You can survive a walkout. You can survive a walkout.
When you're Stone Cold Steve Austin, you can survive a
Okay, no,
walkout. When you're a couple of nobodies,
they're
you
not
can't
nobodies.
come on.
You mean to
They
tell
are.
me if they're
We had to look up their names. We didn't know who these women were. We had to look up their
okay,
names.
but if you saw an indie promotion poster in Manchester, New Hampshire that said
Yeah.
in featuring Nixon, Newell, FKA, Tegan Knox, you'd be like, oh, I know her.
I'd have to think about it because I don't even remember her from NXT,
Okay,
to be honest
anyone that's a major WWE fan is gonna know her that because they know her from
with you.
NXT. Numbnut.
Yeah. I
I'm
really,
sorry, but I don't think they destroyed their careers here.
I think they
I
have.
think they'll be booked on indie shows. I think
Oh, I'm not saying they won't get booked on indie shows, but what major promotion is gonna
you
want
mean to
these
tell
two?
me Juggalo Championship Wrestling with Vince Russo isn't going to jump at the chance to book these two? Bro, I mean, sister. I mean, bro, sister. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I see no problem with what you did. You need to come to Juggalo Championship Wrestling, sister, and do that with me because we'll swerve them, bro. We'll swerve the marks.
Yeah, I feel like you're making my point for me. I think they've screwed their careers if that's what they have to
what
resort
is a
to.
career? What is a career, Matt? Ultimately, a career is we're just trying to make a payday. And
Yeah.
so they'll get the payday.
Tony Khan is known for being pretty generous. I think they're not going to be welcome back there.
Look, no, I've read something said no one is forever banned in AEW. I think there's one name that probably is, and it's unfortunate. I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure CM Punk is persona non grata.
Oh yeah, but he wouldn't want to go back
No,
anyway, so it doesn't matter.
but I never say never in this business. Look, if these girls like went into the locker room and like gave an apology, there'd be heat, but I guarantee you that they'd be okay. You know what? It would be a situation where Tony Khan would give them the Triple H talk. You're gonna have to eat shit and like it. The talk that Vince gave Triple H after the curtain call. You're gonna have to eat shit and like it. You're gonna have to
I don't think
do jobs.
I don't think Tony Khan gives those kinds of speeches though.
I mean, well, maybe. Hey, back to my original point on Tony Khan. You're a promoter. That's what you do. Those are the type of talks you give your talent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, hopefully maybe they'll learn from this.
I guarantee you Tony Khan's already called them. And maybe he said, hey, you're done. F you. You know, we don't know. There's a lot we don't know right now. And I think it's very telling that Miranda Alize,
I think it's Alize. I think it's pronounced
Alize
Alize.
said on social media, there's so much I want to say, but can't. So I mean, that shows caution. And usually talent doesn't show caution in situations like this. So I'm going to guess there was already phone calls made. And
maybe.
So, you know, I think maybe in 2-3 months we see them back. Maybe. Look, this business, there's no such thing as unforgivable sins.
No, I agree with that.
I mean, my goodness gracious, we have fans that say that Chris Benoit should still get his roses for his career.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you morons. No, he shouldn't. There are things you do in life that once you do them, what you've done before does not matter.
Yeah.
So, no, and I'm not comparing this to the Chris Benoit situation. I'm saying that.
Well, no, of course not.
I could see some people
clearly
hearing this and not listening for context and being like,
right.
"Oh my God, this moron." No,
right.
They are the apples and veggie drinks. I mean, come on. But look, if
these women haven't killed anyone.
Yeah, like if we're in a business where something like that is, you know, you still have people arguing legacy. This is nothing. I mean, Naomi was forgiven for her walkout.
Yeah. True, but different regime.
I mean, but I would say Triple H is probably less forgiving than Tony Khan.
I don't know. Who knows?
I mean,
yeah, probably. You're probably right.
And people will sit there and say, oh, well, you know, they're not going to bring Sasha Banks back. Well, they're not going to bring Sasha back because Sasha said so much stuff that's, you know, she's done more damage than, you know, the walkout did with her mouth and interviews and saying the things she said about some of the talent that's still in WWE. So, no, you can't bring Sasha back.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Charlotte would beat the bejesus out of her if she ever came back. Nia too. I'm gonna guess. I mean, you thought when Nia stiffed Becky, it was bad. Goodness, golly, that's going to be brutal.
Well, speaking of people coming back, should we move on to the next news item?
Yeah, sure.
Woo, woo, woo. You know it. Zack Ryder turned up on SmackDown as Zack Ryder, not as
Yes.
Matt Cardona,
Eh,
which is funny because he was just on NXT as Matt Cardona recently,
yes.
but he got out of his tanning bed on Friday and showed up at SmackDown.
You know what? It's a shame. And here's the shame about it, is that this is a one-off. This is not going to be ongoing. The reports are this was a one-off deal.
Yeah, although interestingly enough, Triple H posed with him and did the point, which he usually does with people he just signed. So I wonder if they're swerving us a little bit and they actually are signing him.
If they are, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
If they are, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Also of note, he does have merchandise on WWE Shop.
Yes.
So
yes, he did. He made an actual merchandise deal for that with WWE, which seems to. So obviously they have a good relationship.
Pro Wrestling Tees has not taken down his store yet. Usually, when someone signs back with WWE, there's a, hey, you have this many days to get your Matt Cardona merchandise. Take an extra 20% off with code Cardona. Because they just want to make as much as they can off of it. And they haven't done that as of airtime. So
yeah,
I'm gonna lean towards it is a one-off. And if it's not, they're trying to keep it under wraps because they want him to maybe fulfill some indie bookings.
Yeah. I'm sure he'd like to be there too with his wife Chelsea Green, of course.
Well, the main thing there is I'm pretty sure he would be on SmackDown. Chelsea's on SmackDown, but I could make a case for him to be on Raw.
Yeah.
A feud with him and LA Knight would be amazing. Even tagging him with LA Knight would be amazing.
Yeah.
And what are they? I mean, they're kind of wasting LA Knight to a degree right now. So why not? It was great seeing him. I've always been a fan of Zack Ryder / Matt Cardona. I loved when he won the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the great moments in WrestleMania lore. And then the next night dropped it back to Miz. But
yeah,
it was great. And so I was happy to see him. I think he's, you talk about a guy that left and he reinvented himself. I mean, people talk about Cody and Drew doing that and they don't say anything about Matt Cardona, but this guy went out and did a 180 of everything we thought about him.
Right.
He's been in death matches, he's been in technical matches, he's traveled the United States. So yeah,
and he also, he was one of the first guys who really used the internet to get over outside of the promotion.
Well, he did that while he was, sorry to cut you off, he did that when he was with WWE.
Right, but he created his own push.
Yeah,
with Z True Long Island Story.
Yep.
And giving himself the internet title and all of that.
That was amazing. And
yeah.
I think if he did that now, could you imagine if the current regime was in charge then? What they would have done?
Right.
Oh yeah. Man.
Vince didn't get it.
Vince didn't get anything that's 21st century.
Right.
So yeah, no. Hunter would have ran with it.
Yes.
Hunter would have Hunter probably would have put him in exclusive matches on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that they could have done. And from what I recall though, didn't they eventually sort of take that over? Didn't WWE kind of say, "Hey, let's,"
they,
like they got involved and then it kind of ruined the whole thing,
yeah,
right?
they got involved and they like made it just wasn't the same, and it just
Yeah.
eventually went the way of the dodo, but
Yeah.
they also missed the momentum of it. They
Mhm.
jumped on at the tail end and tried to make
Yeah.
it a WWE production, and it's like, "No,
Yeah.
you can't make this a WWE production. This is a Matt Cardona production. This is like, let it be. Let it be gritty. Let it be different."
Yeah. Yeah. Um, we should mention too. So Cardona was at the launch of AEW or close to the beginning there. He had a short term run in
They
AEW, but
signed him to a one-off per show deal. And,
yeah,
that
for some reason they didn't want to sign him long term.
well, I mean, I have a theory, and it's nothing substantiate. I have no like evidence to support my theory, just a theory.
Yeah,
You already had the Elite doing BTE on YouTube, and Matt Cardona was big on social media. They probably were like, no, we don't want to deal with that. And let me be honest here. Matt Cardona does just fine working indie shows.
oh yeah,
There
it's been very successful.
he's in charge of his brand. There is literally nothing that he is going to there's nothing that he there's nothing he will do that he doesn't want to do.
Right.
And I mean, so he was probably just like, you know what? You guys are going to pay me a little bit less. I'm going to have to travel less, but I'm going to see less of my fans. I'm going to stay indie.
Mm,
I'm going to have to change things. Yeah, not really. And then lo and behold, he gets the TNA deal, and
hmm.
things worked out well for him.
Yep. Yeah, they did. Yeah, things have worked out very well for him. So, all right. Well, should we move on to our next news item?
Yes.
So, Smackdown, which is the show that we just saw Matt Cardona on. I'm sorry, Zack Ryder on. We saw Matt Cardona in NXT. SmackDown is apparently going back to 3 hours.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Do you think it's too much?
Yeah. I had a private chat with Easy G
Ah, yes, Easy G.
of Matt Connerton Unleashed fame.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and we both, him and I generally don't agree on professional wrestling. Um,
Yeah.
but we agreed on this. It's too much. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think you have enough talent on SmackDown to fill 2 hours,
Mm.
let alone three. And 2 hours is already a bit much in the dog days of pro wrestling, August to March.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're asking people to dedicate 3 hours away from sports ball time, Matt. I'm sorry. You're asking people to dedicate time 3 hours away from football, college football
Mm-hmm.
on Friday
Mm-hmm.
nights. Yeah, to watch SmackDown, or 3 hours on college football Saturday to watch SmackDown on the next day.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think they have a network after a certain amount of time in 2026.
What do you mean?
Their contract with USA will be up.
Really? Already?
And
In 2026?
it's either mid or late, I believe.
Oh.
So I think that, I don't know. Maybe they're planning to move it to another night. But I don't know what night works because
Mm.
you have Raw on Mondays, NXT is on Tuesdays, Wednesdays you have TNA, I believe.
Mm.
Do they move it back to Thursdays and go up against Dynamite?
Mm.
And so yeah, I think it's a bit much. I don't know what they have for 3 hours because Raw has scaled down since they went to Netflix.
Yeah, I remember reading an interview where Triple H said he felt that the sweet spot for Raw was 2.5 hours. That 2 hours wasn't enough, but 3 hours was too long. So they were trying to kind of average 2.5,
And
which
I think
which I agree with him.
I think
Actually,
they
I
do
agree with him
quite
on that.
well, but I would say that Raw probably has more talent than SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the people in the photo is on our screen. Sorry to those that are on the podcast, they cannot see it. But some of these people aren't on SmackDown anymore.
You know what they could do? They could sign Nixon, Newell, and Miranda Alize to SmackDown.
They could
Help round out the roster.
and they'd have longer than 3 minutes.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know.
I just think it's too much. And I mean, you're gonna do what? NXT's 2 hours, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so right now, 4.5, 6.5 hours of pro wrestling. You're going to take it up to 7.5 per week, and that's not even on weeks they have a premium live event.
Yeah.
And that's just WWE. That's not AEW.
Yeah. Yeah, they can, pull some more people up from NXT, I suppose. I mean, that is what NXT is for in theory, although.
But then you run the risk of pulling people up before they're ready.
I feel like that risk is low. There are people in NXT who've been there for years who are just perpetually NXT talents. It's interesting to me. The way NXT operates is interesting.
But I also think there are some people that just want to stay in NXT.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of things in NXT. There's a lot of benefits to staying in NXT.
True. Yeah, you're not traveling as much.
They don't pay travel. They don't pay trans.
Yeah.
And they make their maximum amount still.
Yeah.
And you get really individualized training with some of the best in the business. I mean, my goodness, every day you go in and you get trained by Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want that?
True. Yeah. When does this start? SmackDown going to 3 hours. Do you remember?
I believe January.
In January. Okay. All right.
Which is right around the college football playoff that will have games on Friday night. So smart.
Yeah. Are college games as long as is it the same number of innings as like an NFL game?
Same number of quarters, yes.
Oh, quarters. Yeah. Okay. So it's 12?
Sure, Matt.
Okay. I'm not good at math.
Obviously.
No. All right. Well, should we move on to the main event?
Yeah, kind of an interesting one. We're just going to kind of chit chat, which is kind of what we do anyway.
I know you wanted to talk about the invasion angle.
I mean, really what we're discussing is just kind of a random wrestling subjects.
Well, I think the invasion angle is an interesting thing to start with because, well, for two reasons. One is I have a thought about that I've literally never heard another human being anywhere express.
This could be interesting.
And I know you've got something about this that people don't know.
Well, no, it's not insider info. It can be found.
But it's something most people aren't aware of, right? From what you were saying.
And it's something so simple.
Yeah.
It's something so simplistic.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I mean, it really is.
Should I tell you? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you my idea about the invasion angle, and then maybe what you share will change my mind about it. But so when of course, for people who don't know, I mean, if you're watching or listening to this podcast, I'm sure you're familiar with the invasion angle, where WWE purchased, Vince McMahon purchased WCW, effectively ending the Monday Night War and winning the Monday Night War. And WCW then became, well, it's more complicated than I'm making it sound, but obviously all the intellectual property was then now owned by WWE, and the contract situation was a little bit complicated because
That's
W what's
where
that?
that's where my information comes in.
Okay. So a big part, everyone always says a big part of why the invasion angle failed was because so many of those contracted wrestlers, instead of accepting a deal with WWE, they had these guaranteed contracts. They could just sit out because AOL Time Warner still had to pay them. So a guy like Goldberg, for example, instead of just immediately signing with WWE for less money, he could just sit at home and collect the money. Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
There's a key point you're forgetting.
Yeah.
2 key points.
Okay.
1, WWE lowballed all the WCW talent.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Guy, Ric Flair, Nash,
Yeah.
Goldberg, Sting, even Eric Bischoff got lowballed. They were
Yeah.
all contacted to be a part of the invasion angle.
Yeah.
In their WCW contracts, in their guaranteed contracts, was limited dates,
Yeah.
which meant that they only had to work certain amount of dates.
Right. Right.
And WWE wasn't doing that at that time.
Right.
They were starting to get that way because they had The Rock. They had Angle, who was as banged up, but as we would later know, had a lot of other issues that were mounting.
Yeah.
Austin, but he was done.
Yeah. But but WWE too, it was always a heavier schedule anyway because of all the house shows and everything.
Right.
I mean,
And they weren't willing to negotiate on that.
right, right.
And so Eric Bischoff has said on 83 Weeks that he got called when they wanted to do the invasion angle. They wanted to bring him in.
Yeah.
And what he said, one, the money was laughable.
Yeah.
He's like, no, because the minute they signed with WWE, their AOL Time Warner contracts were voided.
Right, right. Yeah.
They lost out on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was smart for these guys to sit home.
Yeah. And, so the only guys that did were the ECW guys, because they had per show contracts. And most of them were broke because they weren't getting paid.
Yeah.
And checks were bouncing, so they had to make money. And then you couple that with the WCW guys that were available. Booker T took a pay cut initially.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I got to work. He's like, I got to keep my name out there. Keep in mind, he was their last world champion.
Yeah.
The indies weren't in 2000 then what they are now.
Right, right.
So
because of that, with the invasion, because people always say the invasion angle failed because They didn't have, I mean, for a number of reasons, but a big one being, a lot of people will say the biggest reason being that they couldn't get all the big names right away. So WCW seemed diminished. And what I have always thought, I thought this at the time, and I still believe it to this day, they could have made it work anyway if they had
No.
had the patience, if Vince had the patience, because what they could have done is make that part of the story. So Shane buys, I know it all sounds so silly and convoluted, but this is how it played out on television, as we all remember, those of us who do remember.
Yep.
So Shane buys WCW out from under Vince, with that line, the contract says McMahon, but it says Shane McMahon. It's also silly, but so they could have made that part of the story. So Shane buys WCW. He gets the guys that he can, but he doesn't have the really top guys. So Shane is the underdog. So don't make WCW the heels like they did, right? With the Alliance. No, they're the baby faces. Shane is the babyface leader of the babyface company. Linda, just like this part they did, Linda throws Shane a bone because she's his mom and says, hey, we're going to let you compete directly with WWE. And again, all that part's very convoluted, but make that part of the storyline. Shane is the underdog. WCW, they're the underdogs, but they're going to come in and try. And then if they had the patience to do it, which they never were going to, but if they had the patience to do it over time, as you do start getting these guys, eventually you do get Flair. Eventually you get the NWO. As you're getting these guys over time, they're coming in and they're eventually you get Bischoff, right? He comes in and he's back with WCW. And this could have played out over years. It could have been done. I am convinced it could have been done if they had the patience and if they had make it a part of the story. This is what Shane has to do. This is the hill he has to climb to make WCW successful. It could have worked. I firmly believe that.
I'm going to disagree.
I know everybody disagrees with me on this.
No,
I'm on an island on this one. I know that.
No. It's a good theory. One, they never would have gotten Eric Bischoff. Not at that time. I firmly believe Eric Bischoff was so devastated over not being able to buy WCW. They could have given him anything and he wouldn't have done it. He was checked out on pro wrestling at that point.
Yeah, if they'd written him a big enough check, though, he would have come.
I don't. He was.
He did eventually.
He did a year later.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I mean. That's why I say if they had the patience,
but that's
to play it out.
That's 2 years.
So what?
And no, it's 1 year because it was 2001 when Invasion happened.
Okay, yeah. See, they could have.
No. Also, here's another reason the Invasion angle didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
In order for a wrestling invasion to happen, why did the NWO work? Let me. The biggest invasion angle ever. Why did it work?
Well, a few reasons. It was something cool and different and new, and
because you had the WCW workhorses all available.
Yeah.
You had Flair, Sting, Luger. You had those mainstays all available.
Right.
For the NWO to beat Arn Anderson, for the NWO to beat the holy hell out of.
Right.
Who did WWE lose right before the invasion angle started?
The Rock?
No, he was already gone.
Oh, I don't know. Who did they lose?
Triple H blew out his quad.
Oh,
Triple H was the workhorse of WWE at that time. He was the guy. Yes, Austin had the strap, but Triple H was the bell cow. Triple H was the go-to. If I believe if Triple H were still healthy and Triple H were available, the invasion angle would have worked. Because I guarantee you, Kevin Nash would have signed on. I guarantee you, Ric Flair would have signed on.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know.
You know, those guys would have signed on. And it would have made more sense to have X-Pac involved.
Yeah.
Because then you had the angle and you had the conquering WWE hero dying on his sword to protect the company. Triple H drove a tank to Monday Night Nitro. Now he's going to have to fight them off every week. But by God, he's the game. He can do it.
Would have been great. Yeah. Would have been great. I agree with you. Yeah.
That's why it didn't work. They didn't have that WWF mainstay that fans could resonate with. Austin had turned heel. At that point, Austin was ruined. Austin was damaged goods.
Well, they also did all kinds of weird shit where they put him and Angle into the.
They were trying to find that mix, trying to find that guy who could be the knight in white armor for WWE, and they never could find it. So in order for you to hate a heel faction, you don't even need to have a face faction. You gotta have a face that 90% of the crowd gets behind. WWE did not have that. And so you have ECW, and you tried to make ECW heel. No way in
too. Yeah.
What?
They screwed.
No way in hell was you had Rob Van Dam and Tommy Dreamer come out through the crowd. No way were people gonna boo those two.
Right.
No. Like, they should have done it. WCW, WWE are feuding. Let them feud for a couple months. Then ECW comes. And you know what? Should have left Stephanie at home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, involving her in that was silly.
You bring out Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
And you have Paul Heyman cut one of his brilliant promos and say, Vince, you and WCW ruined talent ECW built.
Yeah.
I made Chris Benoit the Crippler. I made Chris Jericho. I made Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
What have you guys done to them? Made them comedy acts?
Right.
I made Dean Malenko. And then you have those guys join ECW. It would have been over like Rover.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. And changing the WCW logo.
Oh, God. And they made it hideous. The new logo was awful.
Stupid. And even like, I bought the first WWE Rob Van Dam shirt. It didn't have the ECW logo on it. Yeah. It had the WCW logo.
Oh, really?
On the neckline, like here where they put the logo. Yeah, it was the crappy WCW, new WCW logo.
Yeah. Yeah.
There were so many flaws with it, but my main flaw is not having that solidified Iron Man, that baby face that you weren't sitting there like, is he gonna turn? Is he gonna turn? Is he gonna turn? No, you wouldn't have had that with Triple H.
Well, you could have taken somebody else and developed them into that,
but you can't develop them into that while it's going on, because they tried that with Kurt Angle. They tried that with The Rock. I mean, at that point, no one cared about The Rock. I mean, he was over, but he didn't resonate with the fans. You needed
Yeah.
a guy that was working the house shows. So when the Invaders came to the house shows and jumped someone, they could jump Triple H. And
Yeah.
people would go home saying, oh my God, Sean Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo came out and beat the hell out of Triple H.
Yeah. I still think with a little bit of patience and creativity, they could have really done something great regardless.
I
But
mean, it will be, to me, that is one of the biggest what ifs in pro
oh yeah.
wrestling history.
Yeah.
What if it was done right? You know, and what if, you know, Vince said, we'll honor your contracts.
Oh, so what's the thing that you wanted to
Yep, it was the contracts thing, because not a lot of people know that.
Oh, okay.
They just think that these guys just didn't want to work.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I've always been aware of that. Yeah, they would have been foolish to
I mean,
like
yeah.
Goldberg with the money he was getting for just
Well,
sitting out
Goldberg, shockingly enough, Goldberg wasn't offered during the invasion angle.
Oh, they didn't even approach him?
Nope. Nash was. Ric Flair was.
Yeah.
Sting was. Luger was not, because Luger was already a mess.
Yeah.
Who else was? Arn Anderson was, to just kind of be like in an advisor role.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I ain't doing it. I've been on the road for over 20 years. I'm not doing it. You know, and Rick was going through personal stuff at the time.
Yeah.
You know, he was going through a messy divorce. He was really out of shape. People forget that for the last 3 months of WCW, he wrestled with a t-shirt on. So
on the last Nitro, he wrestled Sting wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah, mental health is health.
Yeah.
Flair would have been worthless. No offense to the wrestler Ric Flair, but he would have been worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when if we fast forward to when not too long after the invasion angle, which they aborted early, we get to the brand split. And I always thought when they did the brand split and they decided they were going to have 2 separate rosters for Raw and SmackDown, I thought right from the beginning, you know what this is? This is Vince trying to prove that if they had gone ahead and had separate shows for WWE and WCW, if they had given Raw or SmackDown to WCW, because that was one of the rumors at the time that they were thinking about doing, Vince wants to prove that he could have made it work having 2 separate rosters. And that's the real reason. That's always been my theory. That was the genesis of the brand split. I have no evidence to base that on, but it's been a theory I've had from the very beginning.
I think you're right.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's a very good theory. I think the brand split was done really because Vince realized after the fact that this works better when I have competition. So let's just create competition within the company.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work because it's not organic. You're not growing competition. You're not.
Oh, go ahead.
You're just sitting there asking fans to choose. Do you like Raw? Right. Do you like SmackDown? I mean,
well, not only that, but
you're both WWE. Why do I care?
Right. Well, also when it became apparent that this was what they were doing, I thought, and I was proven right. I thought, aren't they going to wreck their ratings if now, you know,
you're moving wrestlers to a show
that
didn't air in all areas.
Yeah, exactly. And now you're limiting what wrestlers you're going to see on whichever show you're watching. And I thought at the time, this is going to affect the ratings. This is going to be bad. And I was right. Yes.
It did.
I was right.
I thought the same thing. I remember I had a list of wrestlers that I'm like, do not let them leave Raw. Because here in Cedar Rapids, we did not get SmackDown.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm like, do not let them leave Raw. Do not let Rob Van Dam leave Raw. Don't let Chris Benoit.
So you had no way to watch SmackDown at all?
None. I had to stay up until 2 a.m. on Sundays to watch Velocity to see the SmackDown recap.
Gotcha. Wow.
Or read online what happened.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And they never, I mean, and I even remember at the time, if they wanted to do like sort of a soft brand split where maybe certain wrestlers are going to show up on certain shows more often, but why create this? Because you're also limiting what storylines you can do, right? If you're limiting who can interact with who because they happen to be on separate shows, I thought the whole thing from the jump was just a dumb idea.
It was. I think though what it did do is it did eventually create that competition. They just had to give Paul Heyman the keys to the SmackDown car.
Yeah.
And then it worked. And I will say that happened in I want to say after WrestleMania. So May, I want to say in September, we started getting SmackDown in Cedar Rapids. We got it on Saturday nights.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it was only 3 months of having to watch. Yeah, but it was tough because you're like, man. And then I remember they did a SmackDown house show here in Cedar Rapids. It was really bizarre. It's like, it doesn't even air here.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
I mean, the show did well. People showed up, but I was like, okay.
Well, actually, though, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that's why it did well. Because that might not be that might make sense actually to do.
I know where you're going, and yes, it does.
Yeah, scarcity. You can't see these stars on your TV, but you can come see them live.
Like, you think about it, when they first did the brand split, you still had this. You had the one champion that appeared both on SmackDown and Raw. So what were you even fighting for on this show? Like, there were really no stakes until they did a split, and then, which, God bless them, because then we got the big gold belt back, which is my favorite championship belt of all time after the Winged Eagle.
Yeah, I like that one too, yeah.
So, and that was smart. And we got a great feud between Stephanie and Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, although there's one very uncomfortable scene.
Billy and Chuck?
No, I thought that was funny. I love the whole...
Oh, to me, that was just cringe. I remember watching that, and...
Are you talking about the wedding?
Yeah, and I'm like...
I liked it.
I'm like, oh... fuck. People are going to be all over pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And sure enough, the next day, like the following Monday, the news hit that all these groups were losing their minds.
It blew over fast, though. It blew over pretty quick.
It did, but man, poor Billy and Chuck, because it killed them. Like, I mean, we think about it. WWE had some very controversial things at that point. Muhammad Hassan.
Oh, yeah.
Like, ugh.
Oh, since we're talking about the invasion and the brand split, there's one other thing that comes to mind that kind of relates to that, and then we refer to it. The NWO, when they brought the NWO into WWE. And they see, this is another example, though, of something where if they had just been a little bit more creative, they could have done something that would have actually worked, because the storyline was bizarre. So Flair...
Well, it didn't help that it didn't. Sorry again to cut you off, Matt.
Yeah.
There were major flaws with it.
Well,
One,
yeah.
Scott Hall was in no shape
Right.
to be a part of anything
Yeah.
at that point in time. That was
Yeah.
awful. Secondly, neither was Sean Waltman.
Right.
Third, I have an unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been Rock Hogan at WrestleMania. It should have been Austin Hogan.
Yeah. That would have been interesting.
Because you do Rock Hogan, where do you go from there? The Rock was leaving shortly after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There's nothing left after that.
True.
You're doing it to do it, and you could have done it the next year at WrestleMania in Seattle.
Yeah.
You know, I firmly, and I will always believe it should have been Austin. And had it been Austin, I don't believe Austin would have walked out when he did.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
No, there's no maybe about it, because that was really when, because that's when he walked out the first time.
Right.
When he was doing the stuff with Scott Hall.
Yeah.
And, you know, Austin couldn't even pull a good match out of him. I mean, Jesus Christ. They had Austin pouring beer on him with a gag in his mouth, and he was on Anabuse.
Anabuse, yeah.
Like,
yeah. The thing I wanted to say though about the NWO coming in too, though, I thought it was very bizarre the way they did it. They've got the storyline with Flair is now half owner of WWE, so you've got the rivalry between Flair and Vince, and then so Vince he must have just taken some acting classes that he wanted to show off or something, because they do this series of vignettes with Vince backstage talking about how he's so distraught. He's having a nervous breakdown because he's so distraught about Flair
to inject it with poison.
Yeah, I'm going to kill my own creation, and I'm going to bring in the NWO to do it.
He turns the chair. The NWO.
Yeah. That was so bizarre, and I don't know why they didn't go. What they should have done is go with something much more simple and obvious. Vince wants to get Flair out of there, so he's so desperate to get rid of Flair, he's going to do the ultimate thing that no one would have expected. He's going to bring in the NWO to get rid of Flair. That is so obvious and logical storytelling, but no, they've got Vince having this nervous breakdown and he's going to kill his own creation. It's so fucking weird. But the other option just makes such obvious sense.
Just pay-per-view they debuted at.
Yeah.
Was really, really bizarre.
Yeah.
They come out to open the show and they're like, we just want to be some of the boys.
Oh, well, I liked that promo though,
and
because
they had them backstage interacting with everyone. In the interactions, there was no chemistry. Every single one of them were just cringe.
I kind of liked that, actually, because to me, the way I perceived it was, everybody's a little wary because they don't know what to expect. They don't know how this is going to go. So they're a little anxious having to interact with the NWO. And I actually liked, it was awkward, but I thought it was kind of cool. I liked it.
The people strudel.
What? See, I liked all that shit. And I did like the promo. The promo.
I loved what The Rock said. And you, Chico, Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
The Rock killed that, but it was just like, what the? Just have them beat the hell out of these guys.
Yeah, no, I like, because they were teasing that, it's like, I liked that.
And then, like, you had Austin offer Scott Hall a beer, and it was like, what are we?
No, Scott Hall offered Austin the beer, and then Austin said, "I ain't thirsty."
Yeah, just
I don't know. I kind of like that stuff, and I did like the promo they cut when they came out to the ring at the beginning of the show, and how smarmy they were. And Hogan, he goes, God bless all of you, and God bless America.
Hey,
and he's
you
being
won
so.
me over.
It was funny. It was really funny.
God bless Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They were in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Bradley Center, and you're like, geez, Hogan's thanking everyone but God.
Yeah, that shit was funny, and I liked it. I liked that promo.
And I mean, yeah, I just think so many things went wrong with the NWO.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Nash blew his quad out.
Yeah.
In a Raw match.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot went wrong. And
and then they just tried to add random guys to it. Like Booker T,
Shawn
Big
Michaels,
Show, Shawn. Like,
yeah.
I was like, when Shawn joined, I was like, okay, but if you're not a smart mark, you don't get why they're doing this.
Right. Yeah.
Being a smart wasn't as big as it is now, so it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably understood, but
I think they did, but I don't think they cared.
Yeah.
I mean, Shawn came out and people were still chanting, "You screwed Brett."
Yeah.
So it was like, okay. And then, but it did give us that amazing SummerSlam match between Triple H and Shawn.
Oh, yeah.
That match, and I'm a huge Triple H fan.
Me too, yeah.
Diehard Triple H fan. And that match, Triple H always gives Shawn credit for that match, but Triple H went hard. And that was probably the first match that you saw like early 2000 Triple H since the quad injury.
Yeah.
Like, because the other matches, and rightfully so, you could tell, very tentative, very, very cautious in what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like the undisputed title match he had with Hogan at Backlash was,
yeah,
that was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, and I blame Hogan for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was the match when Triple H got it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was awesome. And then we got the greatest match, in my opinion, between those two. The 3 stages of hell match they had at Armageddon. With the street fight, the steel cage, and then the tables, ladders, and chairs.
Yeah.
And Shawn just took one hellacious bump to end that match.
Yeah.
Getting shoved off the ladder through a stack of tables.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I believe Ric Flair got hard weighed in that match. Either that or Flair just bladed because he's Flair. And
well, Flair could just punch himself in the forehead and start bleeding.
I don't think he did. I haven't watched that match in many years, but I'd have to go back and watch it. I'm pretty sure he hard weighed because there's a spot where Shawn goes to super kick Hunter. He hits Nate. Nate does a spin and he doesn't get his hands up in time on the guardrail, and his head just biffs on the top of the guardrail, and I think it hit that scar tissue just right.
Yeah.
and busted him. Like, he was gushing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I remember watching it live and seeing that spot and like, ugh.
Mm.
Like, because he did, yeah. I don't know if Flair wasn't where he was supposed to be, if Sean moved too fast, if he missed something, got Flair just mistimed it, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he almost missed the spot where he had to go in and push Sean off the ladder, push the ladder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you see Sean's like having to ad lib because he's reaching for the title and he keeps grabbing his back. Like, oh,
Oh.
my back's hurt, my back's hurt. And
Oh.
you just kind of see him kind of look real quick each
Yeah.
time to see if Flair's moving.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like Nate doesn't even know where he's at.
Yeah. Hmm. I think something we had kind of teased too, talking about was like first memories of.
Yeah, first memories of wrestling.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
I can tell you in my case, the first I'm sure I've told you this before. The first storyline I got really invested in as a kid. Well, the first one I got somewhat invested in would be Hogan versus Andre, the build up to WrestleMania 3. But the first one I got really heavily invested in was Hogan versus, of course, my beloved Macho Man Randy Savage, my all time favorite. That was the first. That was when I was really fully hooked. That saga.
my earliest memory of wrestling was watching on WTBS, the Superstation. Wasn't WWE. It was the Road Warriors
Mm.
coming out to Iron Man and the spikes. And you're like, these guys are scary, but oh my goodness, I love them. Like,
Yeah.
I had a giant stuffed teddy bear. I'd jump off the couch and do a clothesline onto it, like the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
I would, like do the power slam. I thought the Road Warriors were end all be all. And
Mm-hmm.
then I, of course, moved on to Ric Flair, and
Mm-hmm.
then I got involved with WWF. For me, WWF was, I don't know. As a kid, I never, like, I liked Hulk Hogan, like all kids did,
Mm-hmm.
but I never was really. I wasn't. I don't want to say I wasn't big into him because I was, but I always liked the guys who looked normal.
Yeah.
Like Roddy Piper interested me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, to me, there was no one that I could see out and about that looked like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Hulk wasn't normal.
Right. Right.
But I could see a guy like Roddy Piper working a construction site minus the kilt.
Right. Yeah.
But I think the first storyline that I ever got invested in was when Ric Flair retired, when Ric Flair came back to WCW from WWF.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the feud with Hulk Hogan, and they're like, if you lose this match, you're done. You cannot ever wrestle again.
Mm-hmm.
And Ric Flair came back with the "Be Fair to Flair" vignettes and Flair
Yes.
for the gold and like all of this stuff. And I'm like, you know what? They should give Ric Flair his job back. Why not? Let Hulk Hogan beat him up again.
Yeah.
And so that was the first storyline that I got heavily invested in.
Yeah.
And then right after that is when Brett and Owen took off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was big in that was the first one where I hated Owen Hart.
Yeah.
How could you? Your brother did everything for you, and you're just jealous.
Yeah.
And
I was
then,
into that too. I was really into that
and
storyline.
then
Yeah.
when Brett lost to Owen at WrestleMania 10,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
but I remember they had me hooked on it at that point because I had to see SummerSlam.
Yep.
No way. No, but Owen beat Brett at WrestleMania. He could beat him at SummerSlam. That can't happen. Brett has to find a way. And
Yeah.
everything's stacked in Owen's favor. Brett can't wrestle in a cage. Brett can't brawl. All of that.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, just so those are my first memories. But my first memory that I can recall will always be the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Loved the Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal. It breaks my heart now to know what I know about them, and in that, as great as they were, there's a degree of they could have been so much more.
Yeah.
You know, so if one of them would, if both of them would have had their heads on straight, one of them did, the other one did not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would always like ask my aunt when we'd be watching on WTBS, is that guy dead? After the Road Warriors would beat up someone.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah.
guy probably wished he was dead.
Right.
I watch him now and I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. I can tell you too, when I first became a wrestling fan, you know, because I told you the storylines that really kind of hooked me, but when I got hooked on wrestling itself, it was I had seen a little bit of it, but it was when they launched Saturday Night's Main Event. It's so funny because I remember having a conversation with my dad about this because from a very young age, I was a huge fan of Saturday Night Live. And there was this news story on the radio about how, and this isn't what ended up happening, but I remember this, according to this news story, once a month, Saturday Night's Main Event, Saturday Night Live would be preempted by this new show called Saturday Night's Main Event, which was going to be wrestling. And I wasn't into wrestling yet. And I was such a huge SNL fan. I remember telling my dad, I was like, oh, that's too bad. I don't like that. And then the Saturday night came around that was going to be the first Saturday Night's Main Event. And out of curiosity, I was like, well, I'll check it out. I'd normally, you know, I'm up anyway because my parents would let me stay up to watch at least part of Saturday Night Live. So I was like, oh, I'm up anyway. I'll check it out. And I ended up just getting hooked on it like that night. I watched it and it just pulled me right in. And from that moment on, I was hooked. So that was my first, I even remember the not the promo, like in ring promo, but I remember the commercial because I was watching a show that was on NBC in prime time. And this is what made me say, all right, maybe I'll check it out. It was Hulk Hogan, just Hulk Hogan against a black screen. And he goes, I even remember the verbiage. He goes, when I step into the ring with Andre the Giant, I'll prove the bigger they come, the harder they fall on Saturday night's Main Event. And I was like, that was kind of interesting. Maybe I'll give it a chance. And I did. And
I mean, yeah, I think my first major event was a Clash of the Champions.
yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it was. I remember it was summer, but I could only stay up until 9 o'clock because I was still a kid. And it was 3 hours of professional wrestling on WTBS at 8:05 Eastern.
Yeah, I used to like those too. Yeah.
And I was just like, I gotta watch this. It was 3-on-3, and I had to watch it. And I remember like my mom just finally saying, if you shut the fuck up, and I let you watch it, will you leave me alone?
Jeez.
Like, yes. And I did that the
Yeah.
entire day of that event. She didn't hear a peep out of me. But as soon as I heard the music, the ending credits of Sanford and Son,
Yeah.
because that aired on the Jeffersons, because that aired
Okay.
on WTBS at 6:05 and at 6:35 Central.
Yeah.
I ran out of my room and don't anyone change the channel.
Yep.
Don't anyone do it.
Yep.
And I remember just sitting there. My mom's like, I'm going to my bedroom. I'm going to read. This is stupid shit.
Yeah.
And my aunt's sitting there and she's like 10 minutes in, the match hadn't even started. It was still Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone building it up. And she's like, how long is this shit on? I'm like, it's on till 10:05. We can have snacks, and I'm geeked up, and she's like, 3 hours of this bullshit.
Yeah.
And then she's sitting there and she's like, that was fake. He didn't really hit him. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there getting into it, and I have my toy wrestlers out, and yeah, I'm all in, and my aunt's just sitting there with her black velvet and Pepsi, just like ripping on it the whole time, just like this is some shit.
Did she end up watching the whole thing with you or no?
Right when it was over, she's like, "You're going to bed."
No, but she did stay up and watch it.
She did.
Did she end up enjoying any of it?
No.
Oh no. Okay. Because sometimes people get like what happened to me.
No.
Like sometimes people get hooked.
To this day,
they don't expect to like it, but they get hooked into it.
When I bring up pro wrestling with my beloved Aunt Cindy,
yeah,
that stupid shit.
Really?
Yeah, she, but she would always like support it, and like she would always she worked the second shift for this animal control here in Cedar Rapids. She would always go to the local grocery store and get me the dirt sheets.
Oh,
the aftermath.
The aftermath. Oh, I used to love those. The aftermaths.
The wrestler, and I don't think you have this one.
Yeah, because there were like 3 or 4 different ones, right? There was PW Illustrated and
no, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, The Wrestler.
Yep.
Inside Wrestling.
Yep, I remember that one. Yep.
And then I forget the other one. Oh, Wrestling All Stars.
Okay. Yep.
Wrestling All Stars always had the cool pinups.
Okay.
And the posters.
Yeah.
Like the giant posters, you were so careful that you didn't want to rip them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in the center of the magazine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she would or like when she worked at the airport and I was like 3 or 4 years old, the wrestlers were flying out of the Cedar Rapids airport, and she went and got their autographs.
Oh wow.
And brought them to me. And she's like, they have to be some of the dumbest people I've ever encountered. She goes, some of them didn't even know how to spell Eric.
Yeah, I don't believe that, do you?
I mean, why would
she... Well, you do have an unusual spelling, though.
I mean, why would she lie, though? Like, but
I don't know, just to bust your balls, probably.
I was 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
One human being. Well, my mom would have.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
My aunt wouldn't have.
Okay.
No. Okay. She was very. And then when her son Adam was born, I got Adam into it.
Yeah.
So she's like, have to deal with this stupid shit even more. And Adam, it didn't last with Adam.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Adam became big into bikes and being outside and like building stuff as a kid and just so it didn't last. So she dodged a bullet, but Austin is her son, and we've seen how committed Austin is to this.
Yes, absolutely.
But she really toned down when she had Austin.
Oh, okay.
Because I've asked Austin, I'm like, how many times has she called wrestling stupid shit? She hasn't. Are you kidding me?
Is it possible? Is it possible she secretly likes it a little bit?
No.
Because you know what Brett always says, everyone's a closet wrestling fan, even if they don't know it yet.
No. No.
Okay.
But I'm like, you never got any shit for liking pro wrestling from her.
Hmm.
And then she took him to see pro wrestling the night I was diagnosed with diabetes, and they rushed me to the hospital in an ambulance.
Yeah.
My Aunt Cindy, Austin, and his dad were at a pro wrestling show, and Austin caught Kofi Kingston's headband.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And yeah, even then, I'm like, did she complain at all during that show? No, she bought me snacks, bought me a t-shirt. I'm like, are you? What the fuck?
Maybe she secretly enjoys it.
No, she told me, I'm like, so how'd you enjoy wrestling? Stupidest shit I've ever seen. She goes, sitting there, I can't believe I wasted over $100 on tickets to this.
Maybe she protests too much.
And I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, and you didn't say any of this to Austin. No, I caught all this shit growing up.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So I will say this on air right now. Austin, I softened her up for you.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for me subjecting her to all the wrestling I subjected her to growing up, you wouldn't have had it as easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Well, we're coming up on 90 minutes. Should we start to wind this one up?
Yeah, I think we've covered. It's good to just kind of have one of these freestyle shows every once in a while, I think.
Yeah.
Where we just kind of chat with no real format.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So no, I think this is good, and we'll definitely have to do it again.
Yes.
Because yeah.
And then what did we say was the main event for next week?
Next week, we are talking about the match beyond. We are talking about War Games.
Yes.
Not the homogenized version you see in WWE today. We are going to talk about the NWA version. How did it come about? Where did it come from? I'll give you a hint, if you will.
Yes.
For those of you that can decipher my wretched impersonation, you know who came up with War Games.
Yes. Absolutely.
So throughout the week, Matt and I'm going to take it upon myself to watch each version of War Games. And so we can try to give an encompassing history with the next WWE iteration of it this upcoming Saturday night.
Yes, NXT. Wait, no, is it NXT or is it?
No, it's Survivor Series.
Oh, that's right, it's Survivor Series. Yeah, I don't know why I got that mixed up in my head. Okay, yeah, no, very good. So that will be excellent.
Matt and I, we did discuss this before the show. We will be taking the weekend after Thanksgiving off. I don't have anything specifically planned, but it's good to have a break.
Sure.
At that moment, holidays are starting. Don't want anyone to feel obligated to have to listen to us on Sunday after weekends with family and shopping and tons of food, and just kind of take the holiday weekend off and go from there.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. That sounds great.
And and we'll go from there, and possible big news coming from me soon.
Excellent.
I've already talked to you about this, Matt, in private.
Yes.
Matt knows, but no, there is some big things happening with me. So,
Yes.
some people may be angry about it. Some people might be like, enough is enough, but I'm like a virus or a fungus. I eventually just grow on you. And you just accept that I'm here.
That's right. All right. Well, very good. Well, Eric, thank you so much. Where should people go online to find you?
As of right now,
yeah.
As of right now, you can find me on TikTok, e-rich319. You can find me on Instagram, epilcher617. You can find me on X, erpilcher319.
All right. Very good. And of course, you can find me at mattconnerton.com. And thank you, everybody who joined us, whether you joined the live stream or you're listening to the podcast. Please subscribe on the podcast platform of your choice to the show Tough Bumps. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, a like and subscribe.
Or dislike.
Or dislike, yeah.
But
subscribe either way.
Yeah, subscribe either way. If you hate subscribe, it's still a subscription.
Oh, yeah. There's a channel I hate subscribe to.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
So, please subscribe. If you think we suck, comment we suck. If you hate us, if you think Matt's a fat guy and with his doofy hat, or you think I'm stupid with my hair and my face that I can't change, comment, engage.
That's right.
We will not chase you away.
Speaking of hair, I'm finally getting a haircut Wednesday. So if anyone's wondering.
Well, I need to, because I've changed my hairstyle up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's getting shaggy on the sides and back. I would like to keep it down to like a one guard on the sides and back. Yeah. And my sideburns are becoming a little uneven right here. So they'll have to even those up.
Yeah. Every time I say I'm not going to grow my hair out long again, I end up, I always say this is the last time. This is the last time. Getting too old for that.
It is so much hair care is so much easier for men than it is women.
Oh, definitely.
It is. Like, I hear what women spend on really good haircuts, and I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind.
Oh, yeah. No, we do have it much easier with that.
I'm like, I spend $20. Call it a day.
Yeah.
And one female I was talking to, she's like, I spend that to get in the door. I'm like, what do they do for $200+? I'm like, there better be a happy ending that's included with this. And it better be a female. And she's like, well, I don't know what a happy ending is. And I'm like, okay, you need to go to Google and go to incognito mode first and type in what is a happy ending. And you'll find out real quick.
That's right.
I'm like, so, if you're going to charge me $200 for a haircut, she's like, well, I get it highlighted and detangled. And
oh, well, yeah, that adds up. Yeah.
You can detangle it at home. Scoop the shampoo into your hand, let it sit. Let it sit, wash, rinse, detangle with the comb. What the?
Yeah.
I don't get it. But their hair is way harder to take care of than ours.
It is. I agree.
I was told that I brought it up to other women and I was told I was insensitive.
Right.
And I'm like, well, fuck you too.
Well, on that note, that concludes episode 20.
I have alienated the entire female fan.
Yeah. There's that demographic.
Fan sphere of Tough Bumps.
Yes. That's all right. They'll be back. All right.
They'll be back like Tegan Knox and her girlfriend.
And the other one, yeah.
Yes, they'll be back, damn it.
I don't know. All right, that's going to do it. Episode 23 of Tough Bumps. We'll talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.